Fern Greene's first day of college started off exactly as she always knew it would, an absolute nightmare. Okay, maybe it wasn't her worst nightmare. That would be the one where she showed up to class naked and late, of course. But as far as nightmares went, her first day of college started off as her second worst nightmare. She got lost. So terribly, horribly, utterly lost that she didn't even show up at the ancient steps of the University of Brychester at all. Instead, she was lost, far from home, and in a place she had never even heard of before, the smoggy, trash-filled realm of Evergreen Harbor. Oh, and she had had her phone, wallet, and almost all her luggage stolen at some point. Of course. At this point, there was only one way things could possibly get worse. If she had actually ended up at the university, and thrown onto the path her strong-willed mother had picked out for her. But at least ending up at the university would have laid out her future for her, and somewhere to sleep. And what was she going to do now? Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Sims 4 Greene Family Legacy, the Eco-Fern season, where it's finally time! I knew it, friends! I knew there was a reason that we hadn't had Fern grow up and leave the house and move on yet. I knew there was a reason we hadn't sent her to university yet. I knew there was a reason that we were dragging on this legacy that has begun since the very first Sims 4 base game came out, and we haven't gone and had Generation 3 move on, and it was this terribly horrific wonderful mess. Look at all the trash on the ground. Look at this place. What even has that thing? Who even knows what that thing is? I don't know what that thing is. That looks like chocolate milk, or excuse me, strawberry milk, and some Chinese food over there. I mean, I saw rats running around a minute ago. Actual rats, you guys. Oh my goodness, I know we've had rats since city living, but hey, they're not in the city. They're in this new place called Evergreen Harbor, which is surprisingly green in some places and not green in others, as you guys can see. Just look at that goop. Look at it. But it's perfect. It is so perfect. This wonderful, glorious, hideous, messy place full of so much trash and junk and litter, and it's all very tidy and organized in a weird way though, which kind of amuses me. Also, that I found more goop. I found radioactive goop that we definitely don't want to have somebody fall into, or else they're gonna turn into some sort of superhero, I don't know, seagull. Maybe there's some seagull feathers over there that would cause some sort of cool transformation. Why don't we have superheroes yet? We'll dwell on that later. But anyway, welcome to Evergreen Harbor, the perfect place for our Generation 3 heiress, Fern Greene, to finally grow up. I really thought that her time had come when we had Cats and Dogs come out and she could become a vet. I really thought her time had come when university came out and we could send her off to university, much to her mother's wishes. After all, Fern comes from a long, long lineage of our wonderful legacy Sims. You don't need to know about all of their story, just know that you can check out all of their other episodes in the playlist linked down below. I'll try to make them into a more tidy, organized page on our wiki pretty soon, because we have jumped many seasons. But no, that wasn't for her. What was for her, what was perfect for her greenery-loving little heart that grew up rescuing the family farm, is rescuing this world. Just look at the chaotic mess of it. Look at all of this. This is perfect for her. Fern grew up rescuing her family's cowplant farm, being able to revive it from a completely ruined hunk of weeds and rocks and just chaotic, tumbling farmhouse mess. And she was able to help clean it up, get it going again, really found peace there because she's very shy, not very good at the academics, our dear girl Fern. And now we're here. And this is just perfect for her. It's something that speaks to her heart to be able to take care of all of the plants and really get plants going again. Maybe she could even sneak her dog Toby over here eventually. This is perfect. But alright, I won't dwell on how perfect it is too much longer because I want you guys to go ahead and meet Fern and find out about her new home. So don't worry, we'll have a little meet and greet with Fern in just a second because our girl Fern is actually completely lost. Completely and utterly lost in this new place. She's hungry, her wallet has been stolen, her phone is not working. All she has in her bag right now happens to be a laptop that is currently off. I wish I could rename this, that would be really cool. But a laptop that she was given for her university classes, which she's supposed to be at right now, that she has not yet figured out how to really use. She's not too tech savvy, our Fern. And her journal, which she spent the entire train ride reading. Unfortunately, she got on the wrong train and ended up here in Evergreen Harbor, doesn't have any way to leave again, and is now standing utterly perplexed and thinking that the only thing that could happen to make this worse is if she had actually ended up at university. But we'll talk about her university fears in just a second, because our girl Fern is not going to be alone for long. She, in her very confused, lost, clearly has no idea what she's doing little demeanor, has actually picked up the attention of someone else. Kelsey Neway, who is definitely side-eyeing our girl Fern and has plans that hopefully don't include all of those rats, you know, rushing around the back, but has plans to say hello. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll introduce you guys to Kelsey. But alright, so Kelsey, come along, come along. Do your thing, Kelsey. Let's have her come over. We're gonna have her go ahead and greet Fern, tell an insider story. You know what, let's just get to know. And I wonder if we can discuss uncomfortable feelings. Yeah, discuss uncomfortable mood. So here we are. There we go. All right. Yay! Okay. So as Fern is completely lost in this new place, she has just had somebody new come up and try to console her. And my friends, this is Kelsey Neway, who happens to be pretty new in the area. She even made up the name Neway herself just so that she could start getting comfortable and hopefully convincing people to join her cause. The Neway cause. Because where a lot of other people see a chaotic mess, Kelsey Neway actually sees potential. And right now, she sees that potential in Fern Greene, because who better to help her cause and to rally behind and help provide a ton of support to transforming this entire neighborhood than, you know, little lost lambs who happen to be the perfect age to have no commitments and a whole lot of energy to do something. There we go. Yeah, we're going to just go ahead and talk about needing a place to sleep, which is really wonderful. But this is really exciting, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys to Kelsey really quickly. Kelsey Neway, Neway being the name that she just tells everybody is her last name, is a bit of a excited activist. She really dreams about being able to transform this entire area. She knows that there has to be a better way to bring people together and really enact change in the world. And somebody's actually riding a bike with a helmet. I highly approve. It's Zoe! Oh, that's so cool. We're going to pretend we don't see Great Aunt Zoe. She's not supposed to be here, so cough cough. We don't see her. But yeah, Kelsey Neway is actually a leader of a small group who really wants to try to use the best of new technology to transform the area. Her history is a little bit of a mystery, and she keeps it that way on purpose. Her name may be Kelsey. Neway is definitely not her last name, but she just introduces herself that way so that she can try to push forward her cause, the Neway cause, which she has already recruited a couple other little lost lambs into, and used the last of her mysterious funding to get started to take up this little house, which we will be visiting in pretty soon to see what the container home that she has created here has to offer. And we'll be visiting in it pretty soon to be able to meet the other members of the Neway cause. But for now, we need to convince Fern to like come and join us. So why don't we go ahead, get her comfortable, maybe get something to eat. There we go. Don't worry about those other kids. We'll get there eventually. All right, can we actually buy anything from here? Oh, we can have like a quick meal and a sack lunch. And there's a barista here. Look, there's a cute, oh, this is so cute. Oh, Kelsey Neway has identified a new type of fish. Oh my gosh, Fern must be introducing herself quite well. So it seems Fern is introducing herself as a little lost farm girl, which is perfect for Kelsey's requirements. And then let's see. Start a club gathering. You know what? We could start a club gathering in just a minute, but let's get Fern something to eat. Kelsey keeps her eyes open for little lost lambs like this because they make... Is this how we hire a barista? Interesting, interesting. Let's come in. We'll have a quick meal. Let's grab... Looks like there's off-brand soda, peas, peanut butter. Let's grab some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Just something really simple, but we'll go ahead and say that Kelsey's treating on the house at this really adorable container cafe that I just found on the gallery real quick. Isn't it precious? I absolutely love this. This is just so cute. And oh, look at that. Oh my gosh, yeah, the design of everything that has come in eco lifestyles is just so different. I really love it. Oh, that's so cute. They're actually inside the container. All right, let's let them get a comfortable place to sit together. And then we'll let them start chit-chatting. Where are you guys going? Are you gonna go, like, inside somewhere? Where are you two headed off? Okay, we'll just stand over here. That's fine. That's fine. Just grab a little bit of a snack and have some food. I see how it is. But alright, so Kelsey is always constantly searching for people to be able to help her out because as you can see, this town is killing people. It has got a lot of smog. In fact, I should introduce you guys to some of that in eco lifestyles. So basically, the way that this works is that here, everything is so filthy and messy because there is just so much smog. The cogs of industry are turning, so the eco footprint here is very industrial, and that means that it's not a very healthy place to live. I'm not sure if there's like a trade-off to that, like maybe the bills are lower or something like that, but it really has Kelsey concerned. And with that concern, she's been trying to convince people to do something new. She may have her own secret motives, and she may have some interesting machines back at the house. But let's tell a little insider story. And then let's maybe discuss food flavors to make sure that we've got something yummy to eat. And we're gonna go ahead, warn about the bed safety, oh my gosh. And we're gonna tell some dramatic stories and talk about the sunny weather, which could be even better if we didn't have to worry about all of the pollution here. And you know, you really look like you've been having a hard time of things. Look, you don't need to go to the authorities. Everything's gonna be fine. Oh, I'm literally just making a story out of the way that our Sims talk. In fact, I think that Kelsey's offering to, like, here, you can get some rest, and I'll help you, like, register all of your lost luggage. Hopefully they'll be able to find the culprit, even get you back on the train. But before you go, tell me more about the farm that you're from. Yep, there we go. Did it have nice sunny weather? What have you been able to do? So Kelsey's been keeping an eye out for recruits, basically. Recruits that she would be able to bring back to the house and hopefully convince to stick around for a while. And Fern just might be one of those recruits. So I think we're gonna go ahead, let Kelsey finish her little snack. Ugh, and the air here is really bad, so Fern's already pretty exhausted and uncomfortable. Yeah, gross air from the industrial footprint. The air feels a little heavier than usual, but industry is booming. So, we're gonna have Fern get recruited, basically. And there's a few reasons for that. Some of which include Fern's own fear about the future. You see, guys, Fern didn't really want to go to Brightchester University. She hardly made it through high school with high grades as it was. It's not like she can't study, it's just that it was also overwhelming trying to meet everybody's expectations all of the time. And now she was supposed to be headed off to Brightchester University, a very old and, like, venerable university that her mother had pulled a ton of strings to get her into, especially with her grades. And Fern's mom, Devin, happens to be quite the fiery hothead who loves her family but also believes in upward mobility, with a lot of dollar signs after that, you see. Oh, what's this? Jean has just identified a new type of fish. Well, that's wonderful, but how? Like, you're just standing there talking. So Fern was actually really nervous and scared about the idea of going to university. She's not good at school, her confidence has always been in the gutter, and now she's managed to get herself lost. And she can't tell if she's actually relieved about that and relieved to be away from the pressure of living up to the expectations of her mother and all of the professors at the university, or if maybe she's gotten herself into quite the sticky situation. Perhaps, with all the trash around, quite literally. But so far, it seems that Kelsey is extremely nice and sweet. She wants to chat with someone, start a club gathering. And you know what? Let's try this out. Let's see if we can invite, let's brighten the day. Let's brighten Fern's day. Oh, she changed into her cold weather gear. And then let's actually see if we can come on over, give a heartfelt compliment. You know, for someone who got lost and scared, like, in a totally new place, I think you're handling everything great. Why don't you come back to our place for a little bit and just relax until we can figure out how to help you? And while we're at it, in fact, let's go ahead and invite her back, and then we might invite her into the New Way Club. So let's go ahead and do that. So, yes. We'll have Kelsey go ahead and invite Fern back over to the house. So let's go ahead and go home. Everybody, on our way. Yep, there we go. So their place isn't too far away. And hopefully this is going to turn out really amazing, because I think as Fern settles in and she really thinks about what she wants and she really thinks about where she's at, she's about to fall in love. And welcome to the home headquarters of the New Way Initiative, which really has quite the mysterious background and quite the mysterious collection of people who have more or less tumbled into its reaches, but has gotten quite a great foothold on the local area recently, thanks to Kelsey Neway, who has really settled in quite well. With a little bit of funding, she has taken a small... Oh, what's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? Is that an animal? It looked like an animal, but it's just a curtain. Sorry, I got really excited. I thought it looked like a giant snail. But with quite a bit of funding that comes from mysterious sources, Kelsey Neway has actually set up quite a lovely little area where she has begun her campaign to try to convince the people in the area to live by different means. And she hasn't really started throwing herself behind the neighborhood initiatives that she's going to need to do in order to catch up on how to really convince the people to vote for change. But it definitely seems like she has her sources. She had enough money to go ahead and get several things set up and invite in 2 new members of the New Way Initiative as well. Over here we have Liliana Witt, who is the shy loner who also really loves to tinker around and fabricate. Her ideal day is spent making a whole bunch of candles and being able to kind of be off on her own projects, but she's very happy to be able to take trash and turn it into treasure. She's an inventor with a very inventive mind who really loves sci-fi and very, very much appreciates being able to look out on what might otherwise be a dystopian wasteland and create something new with it. She's not really one who wants to turn it back into nature as much as she wants to see progress move forward. Just, you know, don't talk to her directly about it because she is extremely shy. So Liliana Witt should be quite fun. She's actually going to help us to explore the candle making, which we do have. We have set up everything thanks to the mysterious funding that Kelsey Neway has managed to snag. We've set up everything that we can possibly start to play with in eco lifestyles right here. And here in this little club, commune, whatever you want to go ahead and call it, here at the initiative headquarters. Fern has already tumbled in, and she seems to have found her way into a whole new place that is very well suited, especially because for Fern, we have got plants! Look at these plants, you guys! If there is one thing that Fern does know, it is how to garden after helping to take care of the family farm for so long. And so seeing a bunch of beautiful living walls that look so amazing, so unlike anything that she ever had growing up in Windenburg, this just looks fantastic. The bike is amazing because she never learned how to bike. We've got even more plants over here looking absolutely adorable on the walls. The little bug house, there's a little grub house back here that Kelsey has told her just needs somebody to, you know, look over it. In fact, let's continue talking to Kelsey. We'll boast about our biggest catch at this point to kind of like indicate, hey, we do know and brighten day to say that we really like the area. And maybe we'll ask, yeah, let's ask the cloud gaze. We'll have them cloud gaze and maybe have a chance to talk to each other about what the future of the New Way initiative might be. Because where Fern was preparing herself to be dragged off to a really scary university where everybody was going to be, well, if not richer, thanks to her mom's amazing skill with business, everybody was going to be so much smarter than her. And, you know, she really wasn't sure how everyone was going to treat her at a hoity-toity, snooty, fancy university. And now here, instead, she finds herself hanging out and being part. Ooh, and I think that this is actually blocking the way, so I might have to move this. There we go. Maybe the Sims will actually use this now. But Fern was really worried that she just wasn't ever going to be able to find a place to be a part of. And now, as we move some things around, because actually cloud gazing on top of the container garden house would be amazing. Now, I mean, this is much more her style. Hey neighbor, do you want to learn how you can make a difference? If you've got a minute, I'd love to chat with you about how to vote to make this neighborhood more green. Huh, we'll go ahead and say that that guy is definitely part of the New Way initiative. And I think Fern's getting really excited and just thinking about like how amazing this whole place looks. In fact, where'd that guy go? We'll talk, oh there he is. Okay, we can go ahead and talk to him too. Learn about voting green. I have no problem with doing that in the near future too. But basically, there's interesting reasons and there's interesting thoughts behind why Kelsey actually ends up wanting to be here. I'm sure we could worry about that if we wanted to, but instead of having to worry about being at a really expensive and somewhat terrifying university, suddenly, even though all of her luggage has been stolen, even though she knows eventually she's going to have to recharge her phone and or find a new phone and call her parents and email them or something and let them know that, you know, she didn't make it to Brightchester, she's actually super happy just hanging out here for a second and being surrounded by people who are talking about making the world a greener place. I mean, her last name is Greene, which I think definitely tickled Kelsey, since Kelsey literally changed her last name to suit her, oh my gosh, to suit her initiative, and the Green Neighborhood Action Plans. Welcome to Evergreen Harbor. My name's Nox, and not to toot my own horn, but people regard me as a bit of an eco-master around these parts. And I do think Kelsey would want to be known as the eco-master, just saying. And I utterly love talking about the eco-lifestyle. Do you know that you can vote on neighborhood action plans? They're called NAPs for short. If you want to help get our neighborhood to a better eco-footprint, there are lots of great opportunities options you can help me in supporting. Do it for the trees, green initiatives, eco-friendly appliances, a clean energy production. Voting is easy. You can vote at either a voting board or even your own mailbox. No excuses to dodge voting. Just make sure to have enough influence points. I'll give you a few to get you started. Voting ends on Monday at 6 p.m. Oh, that's so cool. All right, thanks for the info. So now we have even more information. Let's actually come over. We're definitely going to tell insider story, maybe ask about career. We're going to have Kelsey talk to Nox as well. And we'll go ahead and let Fern just kind of get herself comfortable for a second. Here, we'll have her grab another quick meal. Let's grab an orange juice, because that sounds good. But yeah, now instead of being at the big and scary university, Fern finds herself surrounded by people who just want to talk about making the world a better place. And clearly there are problems here that maybe she might even be able to have something to do with. She might even be able to help change the world. And that sounds a lot nicer than, you know, writing term papers that she's sure she would actually fail at. So guys, this is where our little Generation 3 heiress, who has just chased away the extremely shy Lillian, but this is where our Generation 3 heiress finds herself. Suddenly sitting in a home of someone who offers her a place to stay until she's able to figure out what to do next. And all they ask in return is to dream about greener new ways. I think she could definitely get used to this. I am just a little concerned about what her mom might say. But alright guys, we'll go ahead and leave off here having introduced everything. And when we come back, we're going to start poking all of the new machines and the new bits and bobs that we have to play with. Recyclers, candle making machines, like juicy making machines, the little bug house, the vertical gardening, which is going to be so much fun. We have a rain collector, a portable generator, which no doubt will need like some upgrades to it. And we've also got this mysterious fabricator that actually was the very first thing that Kelsey unpacked and unloaded when she moved in. But exactly what she wants to do with that and why she has so much expensive pieces of equipment kind of remains a mystery that she hides behind a cheerful smile. So, all right, hopefully we'll learn more about all of these wonderful members of the initiative, and we'll see if Fern's able to dodge her parents long enough to stay out of college and stay here and maybe finally find a place where she can build up some of that essential confidence. So thank you guys so much for joining me. If you would like to join us on this and literally thousands more adventures, do please consider subscribing. But most importantly, my friends, stay curious and dream of greener new ways. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.